In this video tutorial, I'll show you how to develop another app. We name it as Mole Mash. It is a game in which a mole pops up randomly at various positions on the screen and a user earns point by hitting it. I'll show you the actual application so that you will get the idea about it. This application is called as Mole Mash. Mole is moving to any random location on canvas, and when I touch the move, score get incremented with vibration, and when I press reset button, score get reset to 0. This is how it works. I hope you're clear with the part what you have to develop. Now you need a mole. So I have already downloaded a mole image. I will keep this mole image on Google Classroom so that you will be able to download it. So before starting developing the application, first download this mole image so that it will be easy for you to develop the application. Now we'll start with the actual part. We are on the home screen of MIT App Inventor. Start new project. Name it as Mole Mash. Okay. Start with the development part. First, user interface. Here you need to take one canvas, go to drawing and animation drawer, drag canvas from palette and drop it on viewer. Set properties of canvas. So we need to increase the dimensions of canvas width and height. So go to width property. It should be fill parent because we need to acquire whole screen width. Regarding height, we select percentage because we want only 70% of the height for canvas. Now next part is take image sprite, drag it from drawing and animation and drop it on viewer. So as you can see, image sprite, you'll be able to drop it only on canvas. If you try to drop it outside of this canvas, it is not possible. So that's why we have taken canvas for it. Now next, image, change the properties of image sprite. So first, image, we want to take image of mole. At the very beginning, I have shown you one mole image, so we need to add image of mole to image sprite. Go to properties. First, rename the image sprite to mole, M-O-L-E. Okay. Then go to properties, picture property select, and here you need to upload the picture of mole. So select upload file. One dialog box will get open. You need to choose file of mole and open. Okay. So as you can see, a mole picture is visible on your screen. Now to display score and reset button, go to user interface drawer, drag label from palette, drop it on viewer, drag button, drop it on viewer. Next, go to sensor drawer, drag clock, drop it on viewer screen. This is an invisible component. And one more component you required, that is sound. Go to media drawer, drag sound component, drop it on viewer. So here you are dealing with a visible component, that is canvas, mole, sprite image, label, button, an invisible component, clock, and sound. Now we change the property of label. So we rename label as label score. Similarly, change the name of button 1 to button mole. We are changing the names of the component because as the application is small, so you are dealing with only one button and label. If application is big and you are having number of button options, so it will be difficult for you to remember in code window so which button associated with what task. So that is why it is a good practice to change the name at the very initial phase of designing. A text property of button, instead of text for button 1, we need the text which you want to display on user interface, that is reset. Now label, here we don't need text score. So when user touch on mole, hit the mole, score get incremented. So I think we are done with designing part. Now we'll focus on block editor, that is coding. So now to the top right hand side, blocks, click on blocks to go to block editor. What we have to achieve is when I click on mole, score should get incremented. That's why you need a global variable score. Also this mole should move to random position. Now go to block editor. First take one global variable drawer. Very first option, initialize global variable, change its name to count and initialize it to 0. So go to math function, then first one 0. So first we initialized global variable count to 0. So next thing is we need to move the mole to different random position. For that you need an event handler when clock1.timer. On every second this event get executed. For every second you will be able to change the position of image sprite, that is mole. As we need to change the position of mole, so go to mole, blocks related to mole, and select set mole.x. Again one more, set mole. Here you'll be able to change the position of sprite randomly. So as you need to change the mole position randomly, here you need a random function. Go to the math blocks, select a random integer for 1 to 100. Okay, I'll show you how it will get executed. For live testing I'll try to show you on emulator. Go to connect option, select emulator. So you can also live test this using AI to companion app. I'm using emulator. So go to C:, start emulator. Connect emulator. Okay, this is the application. I'm not able to see it properly. So what I need to do is go to designer window, screen 1, change the theme select device default. Screen title also you'll be able to change. Instead of screen world, write down mole mash. Okay, now it's more proper. Now we'll see whether it is, you will be able to see it or not. Okay, it is not visible because one warning is there. First we remove this part from here for now, and I'll try to show you this output. Okay, now it is moving in horizontal direction only from 1 to 100 position, as you can see. But what we want to achieve is it should move on any random position on this canvas. So now we add y-axis also, and if you want to copy this, right click and duplicate random integer from 1 to 100. Now I'll try to show you. Now see the output. If both x and y axis is 100, so in this part only it will move y coordinate. Within this block, any random position mole will move. So what we need to achieve is we need to move this mole to any random position on canvas. So instead of writing here 100, we take width of canvas here and height of canvas here. So go to canvas dot height and canvas dot width. So here canvas dot height, and again duplicate this block and use here canvas dot width. Now we'll see emulator, it will moving on any random position on the canvas. Now next part is we need to increment the score when I touch the mole, like this. Before that, I want to explain you one more concept, that is procedure. Procedure is something that if you want to use the same blocks again and again, then instead of writing this block again and again, you can use procedure. Go to procedure, add one procedure, name it as mole move, and this block add it here and call procedure here. So if you need to use this block again and again, then instead of writing these blocks, you can directly call the procedure. No difference in output. I have shown you how to use procedure because this block we need again 2-3 times. Next part is when I touch the mole, score should get incremented. Go to more blocks, when mole dot touch. What to do when mole dot touch? To increment count by 1. Here we need to increment count plus 1. So go to variable blocks, get and set. So set global count to, here we need to get the previous count plus add 1 to it. So go to math block, addition, get previous count, get previous global count and add 1. Add 1 to it. Okay, now we have added whether it is visible. I have touched the mole, but still it is not visible because we incremented global count, but we have not displayed it. So for displaying, what you need to add one more block, label score dot text. Set label score dot text to global count. Variable get global count. Now we'll see the output. Now when I touch this, it is very fast. I'm not able to get it. So I'll reduce the time interval, go to designing part. If you're testing on mobile, you'll be able to touch it. Clock, instead of 1000, I need to move this on every 3 seconds. For now, I'm changing this setting because I need to show you. Okay, 1, 2, 3, okay, 4, 5. If I'm touching at one location, when I touch this, it should immediately go to another location. That's what I have to achieve. And one more thing is, instead of score equal to 15, score equal to 16, it is showing directly 15, 16. So to one more change I need to do it here. Instead of directly writing count, go to text option. This join block you have to use. Join text. What text you have to write in label? SCORE score equal to SCORE score equal to get count. Now we'll see the output. Reset coding is remaining. So again, when I touch it, score equal to 16. Again, when I touch, score equal to 70. But as soon as I touch on the mole, it should move to another location. So how to achieve this? As soon as I touch, it should move to another location. So directly call this procedure mole move, and that is why I have written this procedure, because this block of code I need to use again and again. Understood? Call the procedure here. Now we'll see. As soon as I touch, it will go to another location and incremented the count. Plus one more functionality I need to add to this. When I touch the mole, it should vibrate. How many milliseconds? 1/10 of a second it should vibrate. So one more functionality is remaining. Whenever I press on reset button, click on reset button, score should get 0, reset to 0. To achieve this, go to button mole block. When button mole dot click, what you're supposed to do, set global count to 0 and display value of label to 0. Variable set global count to 0, and this, copy this part, duplicate this part, set label score dot text equal to here get count, global count. So what is the global count here? When you initialize set global count to 0, here you will get score equal to 0. Now we'll try to see the output. Now when I reset, score will get 0. 3 again, touch 4 times. Now I'm not able to touch it. 5, 6. Understood? Now if you want to move it fast, then in just one more change you need to do. Go to designing part, clock interval. If you reduce the clock interval, then the movement of mole is fast. Getting? So I hope you're clear with this. Once again, I'll show you the designing part and coding part. Designing part, we use canvas. On canvas, image sprite, score, label to display score, and reset button to reset the count. And regarding blocks, here we use initialize global variable to 0. One procedure you have used to move the mole y to x and y axis, and x and y axis is canvas width and canvas height to any random location between 1 to canvas width and y axis 1 to canvas height. So you will get x and y coordinates, and depending on the x and y coordinates, mole will move to any random location on canvas. When every second this clock 1 timer will get triggered, and your mole will move to any random location, and whenever we touch on this mole, then set global variable, increment the global variable by 1 and display it on label, and as soon as we touch on the label, mole will move to another line random location, and it will produce a vibration for 1/10 of second. So I hope with this it's clear to you. We have tested this application using emulator. Instead of emulator, I suggest you to use your Android mobile phone for testing, because emulator is a bit buggy. I need to restart 3 to 4 times while testing. So you should not face the same problem. That's why I suggest you to use mobile phone for testing directly. I hope this is clear to you. Thank you.